Hello, and welcome to Hale to the Geek, episode 3. Yes, we've only gone and made it to a third episode. Thank you very, very much to everybody who listened last week and enjoyed our very long, very epic Marvel Studios Avengers Infinity War review. Joining me, as always, is my podcast partner, my ink to my pen, my dust to my pledge, that's stretch, that one, my Marty to my Doc. It's H.
Hello.
I need to get a better intro. I didn't think hard enough about that one. Harry, my Harry to my Ron. There you go. That one works, doesn't it? So this week's show is going to be all about ghost stories. And when I say ghost stories, I mean the film that was released back in the London Film Festival in 2017 and then got a studio release at the middle of 2018 and has now just been released on Blu-ray. So we're going to be reviewing that. Before that, we're going to be going through the news of comic book and film, and then we're going to touch back on the Infinity War, I suppose, splashback. The, what's the word I'm looking for?
So fan theories and just going through the theories
reaction.
And reaction.
That's the reaction to our review last week. It was very positive, and we had lots of comments. Feedback, yeah, so we're going to go over some of that. And then Hate Shoots today. What are we talking about in Hate Shoots today?
So Hate Shoots today, going with the fear theme. What are we all afraid of? What do we fear? And phobias, actually.
And why?
Because I found a spider in my car, I can tell you that much. Yeah. That's why. And I've got a fear of spiders.
Yeah. So that's the show, pretty much in its essence this week. We're going to start off with the news. And the first bit of news... You're going to say something then, no?
No, I want to do like the dongs.
Dong. Okay, yeah. You dong.
Well, then, dong.
I'll read through the headlines and then you dong. Okay, right. So...
Dong.
First photos of It 2 seen...
Dong.
The Nun is coming out soon.
Dong.
The Rock makes appearance on SmackDown 1000.
He's got a dong.
Yep. Avengers director Joe Russo might be confirmed as the new director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dong.
And the final name for Die Hard, the new Die Hard, is confirmed. That is what our news is, and we're going to go through all those points individually.
And the name is going to be...
Well, we're going to tell you when we get to
just
that
tell
bit.
them.
No,
it's not even that cool.
It's not that long, but no. We need it to fill the time.
Okay.
So yeah, as we said, the first one is about It. It, I thought, was an absolutely fantastic film that was released last year or 2016 maybe. A really good adaptation of the original TV series that was released. The book, from Stephen King, and then the TV series, which was adapted into a movie. We really liked it, didn't we? And we've made people watch it even when they didn't want to watch it.
Yeah, we have encouraged people to sit in our lounge and say, watch this.
Yeah. So yeah, really exciting to see that the part 2 is under production. Jessica Chastain is taking up the role of Beverly, and there's been pictures of both her and young Beverly, whose name escapes me at the moment, both sat down in the same clothes and the same table, which makes you think hopefully we're going to get some cameos from the little young stars who stole the show in the first film.
Yeah, which is great because they have set the premises, haven't they, for this? Correct.
And also there was a picture of Jessica Chastain covered in blood. So
that's a nice start.
That's good. And there was also a bit of news that we had the first sighting of Pennywise on set.
Fantastic. Did you also know about the full cast that have been casted for it?
The forecast? Is it raining?
The full cast.
No, I did not. You read those out.
I'll read them out. So we'll have a chat about this afterwards. So James McAvoy is in there, and Bill. I always get his name wrong. Bill Hader.
The guy from Superbad.
Yeah, Superbad, the funny guy. So, funnily enough, Bill plays Richie.
Yeah.
And James plays Bill.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had a little bit of thought on that, didn't we, just before we were looking at that, is they're quite famous faces, quite famous actors, fantastic actors, not taking that away at all.
Especially McAvoy.
Yeah, so it'd be fantastic. But for this type of film, will their fame kind of outshine it? So fingers crossed, let's see.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think the reason that the first one was so good, apart from the lad from Stranger Things, you didn't really know any of the rest of them, and that kind of made it better, because then you can really concentrate on the characters rather than the actors, and hopefully they're good enough to kind of pull everyone away from that and keep the good work of what the younger generation did in the first part.
Yeah, and to be fair, he was funny, so it did help as well.
Yeah, and especially
the comic relief.
the guy from Superbad, he was also in Saturday Night Live for a long time as well. Is just a funny guy, so you imagine he's going to play it in the same vein as his junior counterpart.
Exactly.
So next bit of news.
Bit of news then. So The Nun is due to release on the 7th of September. So that is, I think that's this Friday, isn't it?
Yes, yes it is. As we record this, it will be for this Friday.
It sure will. So I have a feeling, guess where you're going?
I don't want to see it.
You're going to see it. So yeah. So that one is over the weekend then. So The Nun. Thoughts on that?
I thought that the involvement in it in the second Conjuring film was really good. I'm not, as we will mention later in this, I'm not a massive horror film fan in terms of I like horror films, but they don't like me, and I do get scared quite quickly. And I thought Conjuring 2 was probably my favourite horror film maybe I've ever watched. And I think the nun was a big part of that because she's terrifying, but then at the same time you want to know, why is this nun so weird? They're supposed to be nice. So
there we go. So watch out for that one, everybody. Get down to the cinema. Get your Limitless out.
Yeah. Also, in other news, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the biggest superstar in the world right now, movie star right now, has been scheduled to make an appearance at SmackDown 1000, which takes place in October. I believe it's the 16th of October. The show is named after The Rock. It's his catchphrase, "Lay the SmackDown," that gave birth to the show. So it'd be really nice to see The Rock on there. He's not been on WWE TV for over a year now, so yeah, it'd be lovely to see The Rock if he can fit it into his schedule.
Yeah, he's not. Just don't bring the gorilla with you.
Yes, Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage. Yeah. So that was that one. And then the next news then. Avengers then. Director Joe Russo to continue on social media. He has now... So, I don't know if you listeners remember, we said there was a cameo, spoiler alert, of Red Skull. And now he has now said that he's actually confirming that the Red Skull, he's allowed to leave Volmir now. Dun dun dun. Because the Soul Stone has been taken by Thanos, and so that leaves him free to leave. So, in Hanover's world, does that mean he's actually here to stay? And is he going to be part of the character setup? We shall see.
Yeah, interesting one. That we'll have to keep an eye on that because I think you got very excited in the cinema when you saw Red Skull for the first time. And then I think we even came out and you yourself said that you don't actually think that he's going to be coming back and going to be staying. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. Now this one is about Joe Russo. That's his, is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the one you've just read. Sorry. It's about the fact that the Guardians of the Galaxy director. Now I have to be very careful pronouncing this guy's name. Taki Waititi.
Yes, I think so.
I think that's how you pronounce his name. Is now the bookie's favourite to replace. What's his name? Guardians of the Galaxy guy who said naughty things on Twitter.
Gunn.
James Gunn. Now bookie's favourite to replace James Gunn. Yeah. Although news we've actually learned today. About Dave Bautista is he's now started a petition to get him back.
Yeah, and it was breaking news today is he's joined is either CAA or CCL, it depends where you are in the world. So it's another agency. So he's just joined another acting agency that is actually, it looks like they're backing him. If I'm getting a bit Twitter stalkerish here, they are looking like they're backing him. So we may see a return. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Is that everything?
And then, last but not least, go on, tell him what Die Hard's going to be called.
Okay, so I used to love Die Hard. I thought it was one of the coolest films ever when I was a kid, and the first few were really good. And there's going to be another one, just not called Die Hard anymore. It's just going to be called McClane. So, do we need another Die Hard? Probably not, but you're going to get a decent action film with
bought a new vest.
Yeah, with just and I'll never forget. The funniest thing I've ever heard about Die Hard, and if you haven't seen this, go on Google and check it out for yourself, is the Asian posters of Die Hard 1 and 2, because it translates to the tagline to the movies is this man has to escape. He has no shoes. And then the second time, it's this man must escape again, but this time he has shoes. It's a brilliant poster. If it's have a look on Google and you'll find it. And one final bit of news that I've just thought about now was that we finally got the Glass trailer that was out this week. It combines the Unbreakable film from 2002, I believe that was, or 2001, and Split from last year to 2016. Sorry, with James McAvoy again, who we mentioned earlier. It looks really good trailer, I thought.
Yeah, fantastic trailer. It's just kind of starting to leak out now. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I get too excited. We could be here all day.
Yeah, I think that's one that we will definitely be reviewing when that comes into the cinema. We will be reviewing that the second that it's in.
And leading up to that release in the cinema, we will make sure that for you listeners, we shall watch Unbreakable, and then we will make sure that we then watch Split, and we'll do a review, and then we'll go and watch the new one, and we can do a nice big
etc.
review. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the news pretty much for this week. Next, we are going to be doing our movie review from this week. As we mentioned at the start, it's called Ghost Stories. Straight off the bat, before we get into the actual movie review, I saw Martin Freeman on, I believe it was Graham Norton, about 6 months ago when this film was released. It was actually quite a low-budget release. Because, as we mentioned earlier, it's an independent film, and it was released only at a film festival to start off with. So when I went into this film, I didn't have a lot of high hopes in terms of production value, but there was quite good production value in it.
Amazing. I wouldn't have thought any different.
Thoroughly enjoyable production. So we'll move on to the actual review. Yep. So this film stars Andy Newman, who plays someone Newman. What's his name?
Andy Newman plays Professor Goodman.
Professor Goodman. That's Randy Newman, I'm thinking. I was the guy who did the Toy Story.
He's getting into Pixar mode.
Sorry.
He wants to do his impression.
Professor Newman. Randy Newman.
There you go. You did it.
Yes, Professor Goodman, who his whole thing is that he is a prover of fake things. So these people really exist in real life. He has a TV show in the movie where he goes around proving that psychics and mediums are actually fake, and it starts off in a theatre with a psychic doing a show, a bit like a sort of a Darren Brown thing, and you can hear him with a radio actually tuning in to the earpiece that the psychic has, where he's being fed the information from the crowd, which genuinely is how a lot of psychics do their shows. And he then ousts him on the stage, trying to be removed at the same time by a security guard. He's ousted for telling the bereaved mother who's lost her son that it's all fake, and that he's just heard the same information be read through an earpiece. Quite sad, really, for the mum. What I did think was strange straight off the bat with this is how much tears the mother had in her eyes. They were all over her face. And I was like, wow.
She had a wet face.
She's crying rapidly there.
He hurt her feelings.
He had. He'd upset her. I don't know if she was more upset about the fact that she found out it was fake, or about the fact that he conned her. You know, it could be either one, really.
Yeah. Yeah,
but then you move on, and it kind of cuts to Goodman talking to the camera in a documentary style, and I thought at this point this is going to be a mockumentary of him talking to the camera, explaining that when he was a child, there was a professor that he watched on the TV that did exactly the same thing, sort of debunking, that's the right word I was looking for, debunking paranormal things and proving that there's actually no such thing as the paranormal, and it is all in your mind. And again, this is where you get the first line in the film, which comes up quite a lot, that the mind sees what it wants to see. You then get him cutting to the original programme, where you sat there with a air quotes possessed woman and her daughter, doing the strange voice of it again, a bit like Conjuring 2, where you get the weird voice that shouldn't be coming out of a woman or of a little girl, and then a plate pops, and then you get the proof that it's actually the woman is actually just a bit deranged, and he was the one who actually made the plate explode. It's just because they weren't looking at him. Is how he managed to do it. And you then obviously there's then said that